Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. I just want to say a massive, heartfelt and warm thank you for all of your well wishes, all of your comments, all of your love that you've all sent. It really does mean a lot. I'm definitely on the mend, as you can hear, and I will be much better and probably back to my usual format as of next week. For those of you that love this current one, every so often I might switch it up to keep you on your toes. With that said, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, for your key to the week, you have the World card, or the universe, in this deck. Look at that, isn't it just such a beautiful card? And if you look really closely, you can see that there's a beautiful figure there. She's carved into the mountain itself. That for me always suggests this energy of being connected deeply to your roots, and also to things that last, to experiences that last, right? So for your week ahead, as your key to the week, the universe card is basically saying that this week something becomes real. This week something you yourself take a step upwards. You yourself take a giant leap forward. Whenever we see the world, something has come full cycle and it is ready to evolve. This is about completion. But we're not talking about completion like, oh, you know, that's the end of something, like the death card. The completion that comes with the universe is where you literally have mastered something, where you can step up or over or beyond. Very often this looks like a promotion. Maybe it's that your responsibilities are going to change. Maybe, you know, it can be anything from, you know, somebody becoming a parent to, you know what, well done, you've just been made a partner of our business. I've seen that happen for a few people actually under this card. Congratulations, you're getting a promotion. Your business, you know, starts to boom. It's all of those sorts of things. This is where you move beyond the current level or of experience and expression that you have, and step onto something greater than what you've had up until now. So for your cards this week, let's have a look at the sectors. And remember, that energy of the key to the week card, it permeates the whole week. So across the board, you could see big improvements. For your interesting, I'm using a completely different deck, and this card has shown up in the same place as it did for Libra as well. So really interesting. Your 8 of Cups, for your actions in your path ahead, this is about you taking back your power. It's about you really claiming that spot. If there has been any form of you know, what we call, you know, what's the right word for it? If there's somewhere or some area of your life where you've thought to yourself, do you know what, I'm not entirely sure I'm cut out for this. This week you're going to have the opportunity to prove the contrary. This week you will be presented with a choice or a decision. It may very well be a test. Just consider that. And it feels like you're going to be presented with an option this week where somebody says to you, look, you know what, there isn't anybody else to do this, it has to be you. There may be a split second moment or feeling where you're kind of like, okay, you know what, I'm not entirely sure I'm the right person for this, but you know what, fuck it, I'm going to roll up my sleeves and I'm going to get stuck in anyway. This is going to be a chance for you not only to prove yourself, and you're Scorpio, so you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. I mean, hello, you know, but all jokes aside, this really does give you the opportunity to shine, to really dazzle. And the best way that you're going to do this is by getting stuck in. You can't really, you know, and the thing about Scorpios, you guys, I've always said this, you guys feel at such a deep level that it just turns numb in the end. And this is one of the reasons you come across as icy cold to people. It's because it's actually easier and very often safer for you and everybody else involved for you not to feel, right? So that's very often why you guys take feelings out of the equation. So what I'm feeling here is that you will be presented with that option this week, and you don't have time to process your feelings. You're just going to have to get going. For your communications and conversations, you have the Two of Swords. I love this card. And it really does. I mean, look, it's right next to the World card there. What this really says to me is that this week, not only are you making all of the right decisions, but you will be presented with a power move. You will be presented with a decision that needs to be made. And I kind of feel like this is a boss, an authority figure, maybe the establishment itself saying to you, you know what? We need to make a decision here and we want you to make this decision. It may feel like a test, and maybe at some level it is, but it feels like, to me, this week you're going to have to go with your expertise and your gut, and you're going to have to make a decision that's going to affect a lot of people. No pressure. But what really comes through here is it's kind of like they're saying, you know what? We're going to have to just offload this to you. You need to make the executive decision. Now, I've got to be honest with you, with these cards and with the World card or the Universe card there, you know, permeate in the week, I don't feel like you could lose here. You'd have to really monumentally screw it up, and you would have to try to in order to do that. You have the skills that you need. You've got everything that you need here already within you. Trust yourself and make the decision. All right. And then for your money and materials, you've got the Moon card. So not the easiest card. And I got to be honest with you, this could be a week where you're tempted to overspend. It may be in relation to something that comes up. It might be, you know, maybe something comes up this week that you thought, oh, you know what, I thought I'd paid that. Or, you know, it might be a surprise bill or a surprise expense that comes out of the blue. But because it comes through the Moon card, this is something that you put off. And I'm giggling because it's kind of like, I'm sure the feeling that I get is like, you've been like, yeah, you know, I'll get round to it. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe your phone screen is completely trashed and you keep saying to yourself, yeah, I'm going to go to the shop soon and get the screen replaced. And you haven't, and you haven't, and you haven't. And then finally this week, the phone gives up. And it just says, no, you know what, I'm not going to work anymore. I've needed a new screen for the last 6 months. Either get me fixed or fuck off. So, you know, and I feel like it will be something very small, something very minor, something very practical, but it is something that you should have taken care of up until now, but haven't. So money, either, you know, other than that, I don't see any big issues, but I will say this to you. This is a time for you to start looking at your budget, start looking at your finances for the foreseeable long term. And the reason I say this is because for a lot of you, I feel like the finances are about to go up. And I feel, you know, sometimes, well, it's not my place to say, but very often when the money goes up, often people just say, well, that's great, I can have more stuff. Yeah, it's still wise to keep a budget. Now, what's being reiterated to me here is, look at this. You've got the Two of Swords, which represents 2 months. You've got the Eight of Cups, which represents 8 weeks. 8 weeks is 2 months. So you need to be looking ahead to that time period. So 2 months from now would take us into, let's say, April. We're talking about sort of the end of May, coming up to the sort of the last week of May. That time is going to be pivotal for you. It does look like there's something coming up, possibly in a professional sense. So whatever you're doing this week, whatever leadership skills you're demonstrating, it has far-reaching ripples. Whatever you do this week is going to have some sort of benefit or payoff at a later date, likely 2 months from now. For your love and relations, you've got the Fool card. New things, new places, new people, right? The Fool is where it begins, and the Universe or the World card is where it completes. I like this. For those of you that are single, there could be somebody coming into your midst who is a complete enigma. Who this person, you're just kind of like, do you know what, I just can't work you out. Which for a Scorpio, you give them a mystery and they're like, oh fuck me, that is sexy. However, because your Fool card falls right over the Two of Swords, it does look like you may very well have 2 people to choose from, and you're going to be deliberating over this for quite some time. Certainly over the course of the next 2 months, it looks like you're going to be unpacking this. For those of you that are partnered already, this looks like a new start. When it comes to the relationship, it is going to require you to trust your feelings, and it is going to require you to do some digging. There may be something that your partner's hiding from you about how they feel, and it is something about how they feel. I'm not picking up any sort of oh, they're having an affair or anything like that. If they were, trust me, honey, I'd tell you, you know me. Raph, the gossip queen. All jokes aside though, there's something here that kind of suggests to me that this week you will have an opportunity to discuss how you feel. On a familial level, this looks like you guys are really finding ways to really interact or communicate that are different to what you've experienced up until now. For some of you, for those of you that have siblings, expect to hear from them this week. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.